In this video, we'll look at retrieving data from multiple tables. We join tables. For example, here we're going to see a list of items received from a supplier, specific supplier, or a list of suppliers who supply these specific items, let's say TVs. This data is in different tables. In supplier table, we have data from suppliers, but not what they supplied. Full specs of items are in item table. To connect these two tables, we need to consider direct connections, direct relationship of these two tables with other tables, merchandise order and order item. Two tables or more, we always match pairs of primary and foreign keys. These are the tools we use to connect tables. There's always a primary key and foreign key making the relationship between two tables, and we can continue this chain to find the relationship between two tables that are not directly connected. Most of the time we do inner join. For example, we want to return a list of Omaha customers who purchased something in February. Okay. The first step is to find out which tables are involved. If you're looking at customer first name, last name, or contact information, and the city from Omaha, this is all in customer table. Records of sales, including sale date, these are in sale table, and these two tables have a relationship, a pair of primary and foreign key, customer ID. So these are tables we need, and we can start the query by listing the fields that we want to see in the output. So we start with select first name, last name, and phone number of the customers. After select, we need to join these two tables, and this is how we join them. From, well, we need a list of tables, customer and sale, customer inner join sale on, customer ID from both sides. So this is the typical syntax of inner join. The two tables are involved on both sides of inner join on pair of primary and foreign key, customer.customer ID and sale.customer ID. This syntax, table name dot field name, is required when you're using two fields from two tables, and those fields have identical names. After join, the criteria, where month of sale date, it should be February. Month of sale date equals 2, and customer city is Omaha. Here, customer.city is optional, since the only city field in these two tables is in customer table, so we could equally say and city equals Omaha. And we can sort the list. Order by customer last name. ASC determines ascending order. Next example, which supplier? For this question, which supplier received the most orders? First, we'll look at the tables, the two tables that require for this query, supplier and merchandise order. So we start the select statement. Company, and then count the merchandise order field purchase order number. Put a name for that as orders from the inner join of these two tables. Inner join merchandise order on supplier ID in both tables should be the same. And then group by, since we have an aggregate function count, we need to group by a field that goes with count into the results, company. Then we sort the list based on the count and make it descending so that the largest number is on top. Then limit the records to 1. Zero offset, start from the top of the list and show just 1. Alternative syntax. Joining two tables. The same query, so the select statement will be the same. From two tables. Here we'll list the tables. Could be two or more than two, and then those primary keys that should be equal, they go to where statement, where supplier ID equals and supplier table and merchandise order table. And then the rest of the query. Group by supplier company, and then sort it based and show the top one. Now if you're going to show the 3 suppliers who delivered most items, the tables we need supplier and merchandise order, and then when the quantity of the items on those orders, so we need order item table as well. In this case, we have a select statement, but what we're going to count is the quantity. We add the quantities on all orders and then group them by supplier. Inner join in this query is different. We have 3 tables. What we do is joining 2 tables first. Inner join 2 tables, merchandise order and order item, and then put a parenthesis around this join along with the primary keys that are equal, and then work with this join as a table. Supplier inner join this join on, well, here the supplier primary key must equal one of those primary keys in these 2 tables, and that's merchandise order. And then because of the aggregate function we have in select summation, we need to group by supplier ID, which is part of the select statement, sort the list, and limit the results to 3. Now offset from the top of the list, show 3 records. Next example, list total TV sales for each brand in January 2016. Well, first step, which tables we need to use. We're looking at TVs, so we need to know what's an item table. That's where we can use category. We also need brands. We need to group by brand. For the total sales, we need quantity and sale price. These fields are in sale item, and the results are limited to January. So we need the sale date. Sale date is in sale table. These are the 3 tables we need. So we start with select and include brand. We need to list totals by brand, and then the aggregate function. The sum of sale price times quantity. We'll put a name on it as total sale and do the inner join. Same thing with it before. Sale inner join and the other 2 tables. Inside the parentheses is processed first. The first thing that is done is joining sale item, and then the result will be joined with sale table. And then the criteria. The category of the item must be TV, like TV. At the month, we can extract the month of the sale date. Should be 1, and the year should be 2016. We need to group by brand. That's mandatory. If you have an aggregate function with another field, we need to group by that brand and then sort it. Order by the total sale in descending order. The results will show us a list of brands with total TV sales. Alternative syntax. Same thing we did before. For the brands and sum of total sales, exactly the same thing. From the three tables, sale item and sale item. And in where clause, we have two pairs of primary foreign key to make that join and continue. Category like TV and month 1. Then we group by and sort the list in descending order. How many ranges sold in March? List them by sales channel. We're looking at ranges, so we need to look at the item table. Category, we need to look at the date, March. We need to look at channels. What channels sold how many ranges, so we need to group by them. And then we need the quantity, so we need all these four tables. So we start with select the channel, and adding up quantities sold as ranges sold, and then the inner join statement. Joining four tables. As we see here, nested parentheses include those joins. The innermost parenthesis is processed first. Item and sale item. These two tables are joined first, and then the result will be joined with sale, and then at last the results will be joined with channel. We'll continue with where clause. Category must be range, and month of sales should be 3. We're talking about March. And of course, we group by channel, and we can sort it. That's optional. Sort by quantity at ascending order. If you don't include ascending, descending, it will be ascending order. List of customers who bought Vizio TVs priced more than $300 from Omaha store in March. Well, that's a long question. We do customers. We need a list of customers and their city, Omaha. So we need a customer table. We need a sale table. We need a date. We need a channel. The customer may not be from Omaha, but bought from Omaha store. So we need the channel table as well. We need to return first name, last name of the customer. With the sale date, the question is about sales in March. With the channel, sales from Omaha store. So we need the channel. With category, the question is about Vizio TVs. Of course, we need brand too. And then sale price. Part of the question is about TVs more than $300. And here's the query. We start with select. We'll return first name, last name, phone, and city. From, we need to join all these 5 tables. Continue with where clause. Category like TV. Channel like Omaha. Purchases from Omaha store. Month should be 3 March, brand Vizio, and sale price greater than $300. Now we'll look at alternative SQL syntax. Selecting the same fields from those tables. Just list the 5 tables we have here, separated by comma and space. And then we use pairs of primary foreign keys one by one. In where clause, where first we pair channel and sale tables, and then customer and sale, then item and sale item, then sale and sale item. We'll continue the criteria by the other criteria we had in question. Category is TV, channel like Omaha, month of the date must be 3, we're talking about March, brand like Vizio, and sale price greater than 300. The results of this query will be identical to the previous one. We used inner join. Next example, list of customers who bought camera from the store website in March. Well, again, the first step is finding out which tables are involved. And these are tables. I mean, the list of customers, sale dates is required. The question is about March. Channel is required. We're looking at store website purchases only. Category is required. We'll look at cameras. And then the query, selecting first and last name, full name, city of the customer from, well, the inner join statement is quite similar to the previous one. All those 5 tables joined together, and then we'll continue with where clause. Channel like website, category must be camera, and month of sale must be 3. And then we can sort the list by last name. Here we need these tables. We need the customer with the sale table, sale item, and the channel. So we have to determine what channel, and then sale item, because we need the quantity. Both quantity and sale price are in this table. So anyway, counting or the total purchases, we need this table. Customer information, and then sale table is the table that connects all these data fields. So select statement includes the customer name and phone, and then sum of the quantity times sale price, total purchase calculated. From the join of these 4 tables, if we look at this join from the innermost parenthesis, sale inner join sale item. So sale inner join sale item is the first step. This process is being processed first. Then the join of these 2 tables is joined customer table, and then at last channel, where channel ID is one of these 3, 1, 2, 3, and these are the IDs of website, email, and banner ads. Since we have an aggregate function, sum of quantity times sale price, so we need to group by the other fields that are not part of this function: phone, first name, and last name. Sort the list based on total purchases. And finally, limit the results to 1 record from the top of the list, 0 offset. When using Access or SQL Server, the syntax is different. Rather than limit at the end of the query, right after select, we can enter top 1 for the top 1, or top 3 for the first 3 in list. The rest of the query will be exactly the same syntax as MySQL. We have the name of a supplier. You want to have the list of items supplied by this supplier. So which tables are involved? Supplier table, we need the items, some of the fields in the item table, and then to connect these 2, we need merchandise order and order item. So we can go by select distinct. We don't need to repeat the item. One item might be supplied multiple times by the supplier. So distinct is the keyword, not to let repeating records. Select distinct, item stock keeping unit. So that's the primary key of the item table, category and brand. From all four tables, inner join, where supplier company like, well, we have the name of the company. That's the end of the query. Relatively simple query listing the items that the specific supplier supplied. Top 3 suppliers with the shortest average time of delivery. Well, here we need to calculate the average time of delivery for all suppliers and then compare them. Which tables are involved? In merchandise order, we have order date and receive date. So the difference of these two dates is the time for the supplier to supply. So that's the base for comparing those suppliers. We can average this difference to find out what's the delivery time, the average delivery time for the supplier. And we need the supplier table to identify the supplier company or the name of the contact. So we select supplier ID and the company, and then average the function avg, average of the difference of these two, receive date minus order date. Date is stored in databases as a sequential number, so the difference of these two is number of days passed between placing the order and receiving the order as delivery average. From, well, we need to join these two tables. Supplier inner join merchandise order on the pair of primary key and foreign key. Group by all fields that are not part of average function. Supplier ID and company. And sort it. Sort by that calculated average ascending order. So the shortest time should go on top of the list. And finally, limit the results to 3 records.